Welcome to Coach's Corner, Cav fans. Thanks for joining me on this Monday afternoon with Mike. And the Cavs are feeling good this week with the volleyball state title, and we're still playing, so we're happy about that. So let's start with congratulating the volleyball team, 29-0, and only lost three. They call them, I guess, they call them sets. I call them games, but 3 games all year. So that's amazing stuff right there. So those 3 seniors, Morgan Blassingame, Spencer Etzler, and Olivia Broering, congrats to those 3 on winning their last game. I always say this when I talk to kids or talk to people about high school sports. Typically, you always lose your last game unless you're a state champion. So your last memory, typically for almost every athlete in high school, is a loss. So fortunately for those 3, and they got a win on their last game. So congrats, girls, and Coach Etzler. Job well done. So this week we're going to review the Northeastern game, preview the St. Bernard and Elmwood Place game that is going to be played in Trotwood at Trotwood Madison High School Friday night. And then I'm going to show some defensive film, and I'm going to have a shout out to our medical staff beyond TIFF, and so we'll get to that here a little bit later. So last week's game versus Springfield Northeastern, 56-7, and very similar to last week. We got off to a great start, played really efficiently, spread the wealth on offense. I think we had 6 different guys score a touchdown, so that's great. Braxton Taylor was over 100 yards rushing, I think. And so several guys got to touch the ball, several guys got to play. The varsity did play the whole first half, which was good. And then the second half was all our young guys against their varsity. And so I think it was a 7-7 tie in the second half with all those young guys. Interesting. I'm pretty sure, I might be wrong on this, but I think the third quarter lasted exactly 12 minutes. Once the kickoff started, the clock was running because of the 30-point running clock rule, and we had a long drive, and then they had a long drive and scored on the very last play of the quarter. And so I think it was actually a 12-minute quarter, so that's kind of unusual. And there might have been one stoppage in there. I can't remember for sure. But that was a really, really fast second half. So again, we played well. For the most part, we're really, really healthy right now. So hopefully our guys continue to take care of themselves. Hopefully Noah Miller or Noah Welsh can get back here eventually. He was playing good nose guard at the beginning, but unfortunately just can't get that I guess his upper a bone in his called the fibula. Just can't get it to heal properly, so hopefully we'll get him back. This week we got St. Bernard Elmwood Place, which is a Cincinnati school, public school, right as you're going down 75 when you cross over the outer belt, 275, and so it's to the east of 75 and a little bit south of 275. So it's in the part of town called St. Bernard, and then the high school is actually Elmwood Place. So they're a 10-2 team right now, and so they are a pretty good football team that has a lot of speed and some guys that can really make plays. Big huge O&D line. Actually O-line. The D-line has one big guy, and then the rest are faster guys. But so they've got some speed. They've got 10 wins. So it's somebody that you got to really be concerned with. They played Cincinnati Country Day a few weeks ago, who was going to play Anna this week. So hopefully with a win, we'll play the winner of Anna and Cincinnati Country Day, who beat St. Bernard Elmwood. I think it was maybe 35-20, and a really good game, good entertaining game. So because we have that film, so just real briefly, Mike brought in these stats from last Friday's game with Portsmouth West Elmwood Place. So their running back 21 carries for 183 yards and 3 touchdowns. He also had 14 tackles. The quarterback was 9 for 12 for 252 yards. and 3 touchdowns. He also rushed 6 times for 80 yards. And their best player, all-around player, number 6, Damian Dawson, had 4 receptions for 176 yards and 3 scores. 21, he must have thrown a pass for 21 yards. He had a 72-yard kickoff return, which I think was his either 5th or 6th on the season. He had 11 tackles, 2 interceptions, and a forced fumble. So that's quite a night for Damian. So they've got some guys that can certainly make some plays. So like I said, we're going to play at Trotwood, and offensively, they're a spread, similar look to us with trips and the one running back almost all the time. Number 3 is a good running back, and the quarterback's a dual threat guy. And then defensively, from what I saw against Cincinnati Country Day, which is a similar offense to us, it kind of looks like a 4-4, kind of 4-4 defense with 3 deep, and I did not see a lot of blitzing, but just play pretty straight up and use their speed to run down things and make plays. So that's Friday night. Shout out support staff this week. I've covered a lot of different people, but this week, like I said, the medical staff that is not directly, I guess, involved with us, but so our orthopedic surgeon is Dr. Broering, and he comes to almost all the games. And his right-hand man, Adam Homan, who played for us a few years back, he is a PA, a physician's assistant, and he is Dr. Broering's right-hand man. And those guys do a great job of it's so nice. They work for. They actually technically work out of Lima, but they have an office here in Coldwater right next to the hospital and can use the hospital for surgeries, OIO. And so it's really nice because they can get guys in really quickly on even Saturday mornings, Monday mornings, and get a quick peek at kids, and if they think they need an MRI or X-rays and all that kind of stuff. And so they do a good job. And then for all the rehab stuff, community sports, which is part of the hospital, and that's run by Bob Hibner, a lifetime Coldwater member, and he's been running that for years and years and years. So they do a lot of the rehab, and then Jackie Broering, who I just mentioned, her mom Olivia, she runs right downtown in Coldwater, performance training and rehab. So that's relatively new, I guess, but last several years. So both of those groups do a really good job of rehabbing not only our athletes, but a lot of the area athletes come to the hospital or to performance. And so thank you to you guys. So next we're going to watch a little defensive film, mainly kind of the linebackers and the defensive line. So we'll get that set up and be ready here in a second. Okay, so we're back here, and so we're going to watch a little bit of defense and really focus on the linebackers and the D line. So as we watch this, some of them will be from the end zone, some of them will be from sideline and end zone, so you can just get a visual of both. But anyway, so I'm going to try to move quick here. So when we play defense, we call what we call a gap controlled defense. So we call these gaps. So in between linemen, so this is an A gap, B gap, C gap, and then the same thing on the other side, A gap, B gap, C gap. And with each call, each player is responsible, these front 6 guys. Okay, so in our stack defense, we call it stack because Sam will be normally stacked right behind Owen. You can barely see Owen. This is Owen Kunk. This is Owen Layfeld. He's our nose guard. So Cody is stacked right behind him, and Miles oftentimes will stack right behind Will. And then they all know by the call which gap that they're supposed to go to. So you're going to see here, Owen is going to angle this way because Cody's going to blitz in this A gap. So we have what are called stunts, or usually the D linemen. Blitzes are the linebackers, and so they have a call for it. We have all kinds of different calls, and you'll see some of those. The D linemen oftentimes move. Sometimes we call stem. Stem means moving around before the ball snapped. and oftentimes that will confuse D lineman, because I think Sam's going to end up moving back here before the ball snap. Miles, I'm not sure if he'll end up back in this stack position. But so let's watch this here. Okay, so Cody's gonna shoot that gap. You can see. Actually, this is not Owen. This is Tyler Jones was in for him. Okay, so he's running this gap, and now obviously this guy left, so he's just gonna fill. As you can see, Sam knows he's got the B gap, so Owen moved back out to the C gap. Sam moved to this B gap. TJ's fighting the double team, and these guys are reading on the fly. Is ball coming to me? Is it going away? So this guy right here was faking, so Miles has to make sure he takes care of that first. And then Aaron saw this guy go away, but he needs to sit in case something comes back towards him. So that's what you're going to see right here. So Cody what we call redirect. So when those guys blitz, they bring it as hard as they can. The D linemen typically stay on the line of scrimmage. So if you watch Will here, this is a really good job by Will. Okay, he sits for a second because he has to make sure that the ball doesn't come his way, and then they all chase. Really good job by, watch Sam here. He sets in here, and then he's getting blocked. He stings the guy, what I call stinging his guy. He gets off, fights outside, gives a little rip here, and then gets square. Calpe's going to come up, stay square to the line of scrimmage. We like our guys to keep their shoulders square unless like Cody's chasing and he has to run. And then they converge and make the tackle. Okay, so I'm going to jump ahead. I can jump ahead real quick. So I wrote down the plays that I want. So I'm going to play 28 here. Okay, I'm going to pause it here. So we're going to watch it from both angles. So here's our three stack backers. And again, depending on the formation, sometimes they'll widen out because there's three guys out here. Okay, here's our D lineman. Derek Deuce is on what we call a go B. A go B. Brady and Aaron are what are called our safeties. Mason Welsh is our rover, and then we have two corners. So we got a go B going. And let me back up, make sure. Okay, so Derek's going to come running fast, and as he sees the ball going this way, he comes across this guy's face, which is good. Hopefully Will fight back outside, get his head outside of this guy. Cody will just, he'll just read it and then go run and play. These two, again, got to make sure nothing comes back the other way. It's a good job here. They have good, what we call arm extension. They got into their guys, trying to bench press them off them, what we say. And then once they know there's nothing coming back this way, they'll turn and run to the ball. And Derek does a really good job of redirecting and running down the line. You'll see Brady come up and fill and stay square. So this is a good job by Brady. He's going to take this guy on and make sure he stays outside of this guy, this blocker. So it gets forced back to Will, gets forced back to Derek. So this is a good sound play right here. Our corners, they're never supposed to go inside of a block. They never should go in there. So let's see if Frankie does it right here. That Frankie stays outside, so that's good. And then we run to the ball. And these guys up here got to make sure if it is a pass, they'll take care of that and eventually run to the ball. So that's pretty good right there. Okay, so let's watch it from behind. Okay, so again, here these two are stacked like normal. Miles widened because there's three guys. Derek is number 23, and he comes running in there, and he stings that guy, and then gets flat. this is a good job. Watch Owen right here. He stings his guy. He has his head in his gap because Cody's going this way. But watch him then eventually, once he knows the ball's going this way, he starts running, and we call rip. A rip with his left arm to get on the other side and run. So that's pretty good right there. Okay, we're going to go to play 30, and we're going to go to the end zone only. Okay, this is a good look right here. Hi, Brunsey. We're doing a little linebacker D-line talk today. Awesome. So you see a little bit of what we call stemming. Sometimes they forget about stemming, but Owen was moving around a little bit. So here's our stack. We have our nose and Cody. We have Derek and Will, and we have Owen and Miles, and then Aaron. Since there's a tight end here, Aaron will walk down. He's called an edge player. Okay, and we're bringing a double blitz here, right? We call this a shoot. He's shooting the A gap, and he knows he has to go to the opposite A. Derek is going to go to the B gap. Will, actually this might be Aiden Feely in for Will. He knows he has to be in the C gap. And let's see, Owen and Miles, I don't know if they talked. We might have, let's see here. That was Will up there on the end. Okay, and Owen's going to start fighting outside, so he has the C gap. He has this gap. Miles will sit here, and if something were to show up in the B gap, then he would attack it. Mason is kind of reading the whole big box, and when he sees all these linemen, when he sees those linemen stand up, he knows it's a pass. So then he'll get depth. You can see this is communication. Watch Aaron right here. This is a play that they ran all week that we practiced this play. And so you're going to see Aaron reading this, and you'll see him point and yell out to the corner. This tight end's going to run up the chute, and this guy's going to come under. So he passes this guy off to the corner. So watch Aaron's left hand here. He just pointed, right? Aaron points out here, say, hey, here he comes. Miles could have probably come off of this a little quicker and pass these guys off and maybe stay a little bit square there. And Cody gets a deflection on the blitz right there. So here's where, when you bring extra guys, right? This guy hits Cody, but then he thinks, well, I better block this guy. So he ended up not blocking anybody. That's not good for him. Okay, so that was number 30. So that's a good play right there. Okay, we're going to jump ahead again. All right, we're going to look at play 43. Play 43, and we're just going to go from the sideline. This is a great play by Miles. This is like textbook linebacker play by Miles here. So this is Miles. If you want to focus on him the whole time, we have some things that he's going to do that are really good here. Oh, I take that back. It'll be a different play. Now this was good by Miles on a go, but you can see Owen. These two are working in tandem, and so because Miles is blitzing in the B gap, Owen knows he's got to get this. Owen needs to know he gets in the C gap. One of the things with these other two linebackers, right? They see the ball going this way, so they keep their shoulders square. They don't want to run up in here too fast. They get what we call getting caught up in the wash and get behind all these guys and can't make plays on the ball. So they stayed square. These guys are holding their ground on the line. Miles is making something happen, and then these two will what we call scrape. They'll scrape across. And Will does a good job. Again, he squeezes on the backside, maybe up the field a little bit. But once he knows everything's going this way, he can turn and run. And he gets flat down the line and helps make the tackle here. So that's pretty good by Will. Oh, yeah. Let's keep undoing this. Okay, we're going to move on to play 45. Scrape, square, tackle. This is 45. Oh, my bad. That was 44. So this is 45 here. This is the one I was talking about with Miles now. So again, we're going to blitz. We're going to blitz our other two linebackers off the right side here. Although Cody was maybe stemming or bluffing that blitz. I'm not exactly sure what the call was. Okay. And so Sam up top is blitzing the C gap. So Will knows he's going to go to the B gap. And this might be what we call an angle. They're all stepping, looks like they're all stepping to the left. So now Miles is going to read what's going on here. This guy might come and block him. So he stays nice and square. And we have what we call a no daylight or no daylight. Again, we don't want him running right up in here and running into all that trash. So he stays square. And then this is really good right here. He scrapes. We call that a scrape. Owen does a good job of fighting the double team. Maybe he could probably be lower than that. That's a little bit too high. So these guys can't get movement. Miles stays square. He scrapes, we would say scrape tight, stay square. Okay, and then you'll see him. This is just about perfect linebacker, no daylight. He breaks down. You'll see him take, right before the tackle, he takes 4 or 5, really, about right here, he takes 4 or 5 steps. Coach Bruns would always say, come to balance. Come to balance. He's in a squat position. Then he'll put his chest right on him and run his feet, and then everybody else is coming to clean it up. So Cody cleans it up, Mason's coming. So that's really good by Miles. Kind of diagnoses the play, doesn't get caught in the trash, stays square, comes to balance, wraps, a good wrap. Sometimes you see guys just try to knock guys down. Both arms, he's wrapping. That's a heck of a play by Miles. And so we'll end right there because that was such a good play right there. So that's kind of what we do. Coach Bruns does a great job with his linebackers and making all the different calls, and so they have a lot of fun with all the different stunts and blitzes and all that kind of stuff. And then of course Coach Bruns coaches the linebackers, and so he coaches those guys up along with Nick Hawk has really helped Mark this year. So. Friday night we play St. Bernard, Elmwood Place at Trotwood, which is about an hour and 10-minute drive from Coldwater in the car. 7 o'clock start, back to 7 o'clock.